Oh, my mic was muted that whole time. That's insane. Dang. I forgot to click the button on this thing. That's my bad. Bro, I was really talking this whole time. Alright. So let's start with the Dodgers. At number 16, just 0 for 4. Bro spoke his whole life story. No, I really did. Dodgers went 0 for 4. Start week 1. And you see the preseason rank at number 8. And they're in a pretty interesting division too. You got West Ham in there, who is obviously like taking over right now, and Jersey Smoke and Ballers. So a pretty tough division. Yeah, I thought I was just gonna do a recording too, but screw it, man. Let's move on. Wait, I did not mean to do that. Oh god, I just spoiled it. Kobe Eternal, who took over that spot. Yo, what is this chat? He went 1 for 3. Another rookie this season who came in to take the spot for Rams, I think. And he has a pretty good team with him. I think he's gonna turn it around. He's having some close games. And Pro League's been pretty competitive for the most part, anyways, which is awesome. So I was right with that preseason rank at 15th, so I love to see that. And then Lovely Ladies at 14th, who've been looking who had a rough week, 0 for 6. Got the ego bump down too, so maybe we'll see if something turns around though for them. No way an ad just hit right now. Unfortunate. I'll wait it out though. Yeah, Lovely Ladies. I haven't got to watch too many games from Pro League. Try to find a team here. There you go. He's got a pretty good pitching staff with Woodrow, Turnburner, and then Yolanda Cooper. So I was surprised how bad the staff performed this week. Sub for no ads. I think it should be over. But there's the 16, 15, and 14 spots. So 13th, we got Planet Express. They went 2 for 4 in week 1. I was pretty spot on with that preseason rank at 14th. And he's another guy that's in like a tough division. They got Beavers, Cobra Chickens, and Northside Rats in there. So that's a pretty tough division to be in. But so far this week, he's turned it around a little bit. At a 4-6 record. But definitely got to stay more consistent with that pitching. The run differential isn't too bad as you would think. He's had a lot of close games, so I think he's going to have a better week. At number 12, Bullet Trains is there with a 3-3 record. 16th in that preseason ranking. And again, rough on the run differential side. Gave up a lot of runs this week. His pitching's just hasn't been good. But I mean, he has Rip Dingers, who is like absolutely insane right now. 6 home runs, 13 RBIs. He's had there's been like a couple blowout games. Pro League seems to have a lot of those where just either side's scoring like 10 plus runs. Rip dingers. Yeah, he's going insane for bullet trains. So he's at number 12. And then you got Oakland Ballers, who honestly I'm surprised that they haven't done better. As you see, the preseason rank at number 4. I expected him to be a little better, since he's got a lot of experience now in the league, and he's just a good pitcher. So I'm surprised to see him all the way down here. But I mean, most of the games have been really close that he's lost. I mean, he doesn't really have a pitcher that has a crazy ERA. Just hasn't found the hitting side too much. So it's really just the offense that needs to step it up for Ballers, because his pitching is always on point every season. Scoring that many runs means probably might need OP pitchers. Yeah, but Ballers, I expect him to have a better week. Just gotta get that be more consistent with the offense, and I think he'll be fine. All right, 10-9-8. Start with Sprouts. They went 2 for 2. Another interesting team that's built. I mean, he's got a couple stars in there. I mean, you got Joe Mauer, Babe Ruth. His pitching is really not the best. You got Babe Ruth, Punchy Patterson, and then not much else in there, honestly. I'm not sure who his renamed player is. That's Crazy Cat Eye, but he has a 109 ERA, which is insane. And what's his division? He's in a tough division as well. I mean, Kobe Eternal is in there, and Tim's obviously in that Bro Boom West. Turn that down a little bit. But I think he's gonna be a guy to look out for, honestly, in a division that can probably compete for the second place spot for sure. 109 means he's just getting loose, yes sir. Let's go to Jersey Smoke. Another guy that surprised me. I thought he was going to do a little better with that preseason rank you see there at 5th. But it's been a rough start with that 2-4 record. I mean, he's in a division where everyone's pretty much competing for second place except West Ham, obviously. But yeah, competing with Ballers and Dodgers probably for that second place spot pretty much. But so far this week he hasn't really shown much improvement. Rough on the run differential side for sure. But he has a really good starting rotation, so I'm surprised. Pretty much every starter except Tom Seaver has been good for him so far. But let's see. Hopefully he can turn it around. And then you got number 8. We put SDC there. Went 2-4 as well. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Another guy, he has Elmo Slayer on his team. I mean, 2 of his starters, Purd, Lovelorn, and Elmo Slayer, have been good, but everyone else is kind of blowing up. I mean, the average ERA in the Pro League is absolutely insane. We got to get the math on that, but it's not good. And he's been scoring a lot of runs. So it's kind of just been like back and forth games so far for him. But yeah, he did face a lot of good teams in his week 1 schedule. but I think he has an easier schedule than this week. So he should be able to do a little better this week. Let's go on. We got 765, which is kind of a surprise page right here. You got the Beavers 2-4 as well. You see, I put them at third in the preseason rankings, so they're having a little slower start than I expected. And he also has a really good team with him. The pitching side is absolutely insane. So I definitely expect that to go well for him. But again, like a slow start for Beavers. I didn't expect him to be 2-4, but I think he's gonna turn around this week and get back into competing for this Gravy Gulp East division, which is very competitive. Not really sure. There's no clear winner for that one as of right now. Beavers just mercied Cobra Chickens 2 games in a row. Holy. Let me stop talking then. My bad. Number 6, we got the Rats. Obviously, preseason rank at number 1. So I really, just based on his team build, I expected this guy to go absolutely crazy and be top 2 of these teams in the league. But he did have a good. He did have a good week. It's not saying he had a bad week. I mean, 4-2 is a good week. But this week he kind of slowed down a little bit. 2 losses so far. Well, and he's in that tough division, the Gravy Gold Beast. So he's gonna want to win some games here. He's still holding that first place spot by a game, but I mean, anything can happen in a week. Don't give nobody a damn about the Beavers, bro. Let's go number 5. We got the Highlanders. Did a lot better than I expected. We saw him on the Game of the Week last week against the Tims. Kind of got smoked in 2 games, but then he turned. His other games, including the Tims, he went 3-1, or excluding the Tims, he went 3-1, pretty much. So I think he's on a good path right now. He definitely looks better this season than last season. And as of right now, he has the number 1 spot in the Gravy Gold West. So he's definitely a guy to look out for to make the playoffs. All right, number 4, we got the Cobra Chickens, who had a great week, 4-1, and did a lot better than I expected for that preseason rank. And he's looked pretty good. But as I just heard, he got mercy ruled twice in a row. But whatever. We're focusing on week 1 right now. But he looked really good week 1. Again, in that crazy Gravy Gold Beast division. So expect good things from him. I see number 2 put Buddy. Boy, what, bro? You already know. You see him. Number 3, we got the Shamrocks, 5-1 in week 1. Had a really good week. Looked pretty good. Couple close games, and the pitching has been solid for him for sure. He has the Randy Johnson pick on his team, who didn't really do much, honestly, in that one start. But everyone else has been pitching pretty good. Rotunda Black had a great game, going 8.1 innings, no earned runs, or a couple earned runs, but you know what I'm saying. She had a good game. But I think he's definitely a guy to look out for as well. He is in that Gravy Gold West division. So I feel like that division is going to come down to Shamrocks and Highlanders for that number 1 spot. So definitely look out for him. And then number 2, obviously, I mean, we got the Tims, man. 5-0, week 1. Looked absolutely crazy. Got a couple ego bumps, but he's still looking pretty good. Definitely much more improved than we've ever seen him in previous seasons. So I think this is going to be a big season for him to show everyone what's up with the Tims, man. So #1 spot is obviously going to West Ham. He went 6-0 in week 1. Just looked unreal with the hitting side. Bro's just hitting everything. Got a couple ego bumps as well. But he's still looking good. And as of right now, in that Bro Boom East, dominant first place with that 57 run differential as of right now. That's actually insane. So that means for the predictions, if you didn't vote, that's going to be a Bro Boom win for our predictions. And everyone who voted, only one guy voted actually, voted Gravy Gulp, so I'm sorry, bro. Who's getting the viewer points then? How does that work? I don't know how that works, but okay. West Ham takes #1. I don't know. Beats Man City this week. Yo. Let me get another prediction up before we get into All-Star. All right, go vote that up before we get into All-Star. Well, we're going to get right into All-Star in a moment. All-Star, honestly, All-Star and Legendary are like the most interesting ones for sure. A lot of my preseason rankings were kind of bad, I'm not going to lie, compared to these rankings now, looking at it. But it's fun to guess, man. How's the voting going? 50-50 right now? Okay. West Ham and the Cavs both getting packed up. Yo. Alright. Let's go right into All-Star. With crazy shit right now. Oh my god, man. Outsiders. I can't believe this. The GOAT, man. 0-5 week 1. And I'm pretty sure he bumped his ego up like a ton. It might have been a little too much, seeing as how he's playing so far. With that preseason rank of 9th, I expect him to be definitely way better. But it just seems that he bumped it up a little too high on the ego side. So hopefully he can turn that down a little bit to be a little bit more competitive. I hate to see the guy struggle like that. He did. I mean, man. He only has, I mean, Oakley Stiffs basically has all of his RBIs. Cole Crawford with 3 and then Hercules with 2. I mean, hitting has not been there at all. And the pitching is just looking pretty rough for him as well. So I think definitely this week he's going to tune down that ego and turn it around a little bit. But hopefully he has a better week. I can't believe he's at 20. And yeah, Trash Pandas, man. Oh my god. They did start 0-3. He played 3 games. It's on the standings. And he got absolutely murdered, man, in those 3 games. In 3 games, and then he totals down to a -35 run differential. That's insane. Who did he play for those 3 games? I gotta know. But yeah, the pitching just absolutely blew up. Starters haven't done a thing. just looked rough. He did play some good. Yeah, he did play some good guys this week, for sure. But I just did not expect him to be here at all. Oh my god, man. He was a top player last season. I just expected him to be even better this season without flower bombs and Stranger Things for sure. But he's all the way at 19. Sadly. Let's go to 18. We got the Pilsners. Yeah, that's how you say it. Sorry. About where I expected them with that preseason rank. Went 1-5 to start for week 1. And he's in an interesting division as well. He's got Falcons, the Raccoons, Labradors, and Bombers. So it's definitely a tough division to be in. But, you know, a new rookie. So maybe he's going to get over those hurdles in week 1 and have a better week for week 2. He's going to have to win some games. You don't want to bury yourself too far in the hole, especially in a division like that. But I think he's going to turn it around. The German, man. Let's go 17, 16, 15. We got the Bridge Runners? Yeah. Ridge Runners, sorry. 1-5 as well. Just not looking good this season so far as another rookie. And he's in an interesting division. The Gravy Gulp East, who I think is just going to be taken over by the Bards and Drifters, honestly. So it's a fight for that third place spot to get into the playoffs between the Punks and the Flying Catfish with these guys. And so far this week, he's just lost 2 more games, so it's not looking too good so far. But he's definitely not out of it. As, you know, he's basically fighting for that third place spot with 2 other guys. So I think he's a guy that he can turn around and make a playoff run, honestly. And then you got the Moonballers at 16, who, man, I'd expected them to be a lot better for sure with that 6th preseason ranking. But just haven't looked too good so far. They're in that Bro Boom East as well, which is a pretty competitive division for the top 3 at least. Then you got the Outsiders. But I don't know. He's had a rough week, and I expect him to be better. To be honest, he looked pretty good in scrims to start before the season, but you know, things change. It's the Moonballers, and then you got the Punks. Spot on with that preseason ranking, man. Went 2-4 in week 1, and he is in that Gravy Gold Beast again. So I think he's another guy that's just going to be fighting for that third place spot between Ridge Runners and Catfish. But he has a good team behind him. I think he could definitely make a run. Let's move it on. 14, 13, 12. So 14, they got the Labradors. 3-3 record. In that tough division again, with the Falcons, Raccoons, Bombers, and Pilsners. But he's definitely shown that he can play, and I think he definitely shows that he has experience with some league play, or at least competitive play. So definitely the guy to look out for in that Roboom West. And this is surprising to me. The North Stars, man, the season 3 champ, just hasn't looked great at all. 1-5 to start in week 1. I mean, nothing's been looking good for him so far, to be honest. Trying to find a team. There it is. But hopefully, you know, He's in that Gravy Go West, which honestly, if he just keeps burying himself in his hole, it's kind of gonna be hard to dig out of it. You know, you got the Blues, the Martians in there as well, and Trash Pandas if they want to come back to life. It's gonna be a very tough division and hard to make playoffs if he doesn't turn it around. And then you got Falcons. This really surprised me. 2-4 in week 1. Kind of got destroyed in some games. Other games are close. But as of right now, he's in first place in the Bro Boom West. So definitely have a better. He's having a better week 2. Spoilers. But yeah, that preseason rank at number 4. Just had a rough week, you know. It happens, man. It's only week 1. We're still trying to get an idea of who the top teams are. But you know, Falcons has been around for a while, and definitely expected this season is gonna be his big step into potentially even winning it all. So you definitely keep your eye out for him with that first place spot in the Bro Boom West as of right now. Someone set me up with your schedule. I don't know who made the All-Star schedule. I don't remember. It wasn't me. All right, 11, 10, 9. Another couple surprises here. With the Blues at 11, man. 3-3 record. I expect obviously the preseason ranking at 2. He's in that tough division again with Martians, Base Invaders, and North Stars in there, and Trash Pandas. So I think that's gonna. I don't know if the Martians keep playing as they are. I mean, it's gonna be hard to catch up to them. So I think it's gonna be a fight for that second place spot between him and the Base Invaders there. But yeah, 3-3 in week 1. Damn ad. I'll wait it out. I have an ad blocker. Nah, I mean, I think all of these divisions are just stacked no matter what. And it's good to see. I kind of made him like meant to be like that, just competitive. Let's see when everyone gets back. All divisions, yeah, they are pretty well rented, which I'm glad about because sometimes you have like I don't want no one would want a one lopsided division, and it just wouldn't be fun. It's definitely way more competitive without Flower Bomb, Stranger Things, and Seawolves in there for sure. Because if they were in there, it would probably just be like the same as last season, you know? I think people should start getting back from the ads, maybe. Now, Seawolves did have an even regular season last season and then just looked insane in the playoffs. Like, unstoppable. You're back, all right, but let's go to number 10. We get the Base Invaders. Went up 10 ranks from the preseason. So definitely a big surprise. So 3-3 in week 1. In that Gravy Go West again. So I think he's gonna be a big guy in competition there for a second place spot. So look out for him. So we got the Bombers at number 9, a guy that moved down from the majors last season. He went 3-3 as well. and he's in that stacked division in the Broboom West. He's had a couple close games and a couple games where his offense just kind of took over. So it's just gonna be kind of a consistency thing for him as we play more games. So definitely got to look out for, though. He's got good hitting skills for sure. We're almost at the end here. We got Flying Catfish at number 8 with that preseason rank of 18th. So he went up 10. He went for 3 for 3 as well. He is also in that Gravy Gulp East, which is just kind of 3 guys competing for that 3rd place spot. So it's gonna be interesting to see how things go down there. But he's looked good though. He's gonna have a better week 2 for sure. Some of the schedules were just kind of tough for a lot of people in week 1. But you play everybody, so it should even out. And then number 7th, man, we got the Seagulls, who are looking pretty good this season, to be honest. I'm glad he's making some steps forward this season. He's been in here for, I think this is his 3rd season, if I'm not mistaken, or even 4th. I think he was here in season 2. If I'm not too sure. I have to look back, but he's been here for a while nonetheless. And now he's got some experience, and he's just looking to take the next step this season. I love to see it. We've been waiting for a good season for sure. And I think, and again, let's talk about the Flower Bombs, Seawolves, and Stranger Things. Them being gone kind of lets these teams show themselves a little more, and not just get destroyed for all those games like last season. So it's awesome to see all these new teams coming out, really showing how they play and how they can play, So they went 4-2. And he's definitely in competition for that 2nd, maybe even 1st place spot in that Broboom East division. So look out for him for sure. And at number 6, we got the Raccoons, who are a big surprise. As you can tell by the preseason ranking at 17th. They went 4-0 in week 1. Looked really good, honestly. He's in that Broboom West. So I think he's going to be in competition for that 1st place spot for sure with the way he's been playing. Looking really good so far. So definitely another guy to look out for. Almost at the end here. We get the Bards a spot on with that preseason ranking. We always knew he's always been a good hitter. We seen it last season. He won the Rookie of the Year. He went 4-2 this week. He currently holds the 1st place in the Gravy Gulp East division. So I think he's going to be in serious competition for that 1st place spot for sure. He's a good player. And now he's got more experience under his belt. And I think he's going to have another great season. And definitely make the playoffs for sure. And then the Windbreakers looking really good this season. Again, another team that just kind of took that next step this season and it's looked really good. Currently holds that 1st place spot in the Broboom East with a really good run differential. So I expect him in the playoffs 100%. I think he's a lock. And I think he's going to be able to make a run this season. Because we've seen him make the playoffs, but he just hasn't really done much. I think he's got a 1st rounded last time. But I think he's going to have a good season for sure. Take the next step again. And number 3, we got the Martians, man. Let's talk about the Martians. They got one of the best records so far. I think the best record actually statistically at 7-1 right now. So they went 6-0 in week 1. Definitely outdoing that preseason ranking at 11th, and currently hold the first place spot in the Gravy Gulp West. So he's looking really good. And yeah, Bro Boom is like stacked, man. I think way more stacked than the Gravy Gulp for sure. So Martian's looking really good this season as another rookie. Look forward to watching more of his games this week. Really good player, really really good guy to look out for in the Gravy Gulp Conference. And here we go, 2-1. It's none other than the Drifters at number 2. Went 4-0 in week 1, and spot on with that preseason ranking. And he's in that Gravy Gulp East, so yeah, gonna be in the competition for that first place spot with the Bards. So definitely always a guy to look out for, man. I mean, he's always playing games, and he's a great player. So I think this is going to be his big season where he goes deep in the playoffs. And this is the most surprising thing, man. Neon Riders, bro. With the preseason ranking at 13th, he's taking the number 1 spot with a 4-0 record in week 1. I mean, I think he just mercy ruled like every single player or every single team he played, to be honest. I think he did. Looked absolutely insane. And he currently has about a 48 run differential. So man's been hitting the batting cages. Looking crazy. So that is going to be a Bro Boom win for the predictions. Get that paid out. With the Riders taking that. And that concludes All-Star. So we have Legendary left. Yeah, this is all community voted. You guys all voted for this stuff. I forgot to mention. But, definitely some surprises in there for sure. So we have one more. We have the Legendary League. Which, honestly, a couple surprises in there for sure. And let me get a prediction up one more time. Go use those viewer points. We love gambling. Voting should take place every Sunday. I think that's what we did, right? I don't remember. But yeah, that seems like a good day. I think next week when I make the slides, I'm gonna try to include like gameplay in the background from teams that we're talking about. Whatever I can find. Something to look at, right? So vote that up. Who we think is going to take the number 1 spot? Which conference? But this is the last one, and then that's it. Let's go. So we didn't include anyone that didn't play yet. So that's why there's only 15 teams in this one. Just to remind y'all. But let's start with 15th. Man, missed, man. Had a really rough week. Went 0 for 6. Let me just pull up the legendary stats on my screen. There we go. But yeah, Mist had a rough start to the season. 0-6. Obviously didn't expect that do that preseason ranking, at number 7th. But I think it was just a rough schedule for him. Well, you pick your own players in Legendary, but I think he just had a rough time with his opponents. Had a couple close games though. I mean, had a close game with Stranger Things. I saw. Um, Obviously was on Game of the Week versus the Ball Squawks and didn't really show any offense there. But I think once he gets that offense down, consistent, he's gonna be a guy to look out for in the Gravy Gulp. But missed, man. He grinds. He's a grinder, so I think he's never a guy to count out for sure. It's only week 1, So he's gonna. I think I can see him turning around, no problem. So let's go to Seawolves at number 14. I expected him to be a lot better. Hasn't really. I don't think he's really adjusted to the higher ego that well. Compared to the other guys that moved up from minors last season. He goes 1-5 in week 1. Unfortunately, just the way he's been playing in week 2 so far, I think he's just gonna be kind of a bottom team this season. But it's just growing pains. He's learning. It's just trying to adapt on the higher ego. So it's just a thing that takes time. But I think he's gonna get some series wins this season for sure. The run differential looks pretty rough right now, but he has a lot of close games. It's not really he's getting blown out every game. So, not saying this guy's terrible, It's just like he has to adapt to the higher ego and kind of learn. It's like a whole new game on the higher egos for sure. So let's go to 13. We got Death. Only played 2 games. Went 1-1. Definitely looked more uncomfortable on the hitting side. But I think we know he's a good player. We seen him last season. He made the playoffs. So I think he's gonna be in contention for a playoff spot in the Gravy Gulp for sure. I have a good excuse. Does that count? Again, if no one played any games yet, you're just not on there. Let's go on. We got 12, 11, 10. Let's talk about the Aztecs. I think this is before he played any more games. This is I made these like a couple days ago. So week 1, 1-1, but looking at the standings now, it kind of went downhill. But a lot better than the preseason rank for sure. But I think he can slip in. I think he might be able to slip into a playoff spot, even though the Bro Boom is kind of stacked. With teams, I think he can slide into that 6th seed potentially and grab a playoff spot. I'm so cooked, bro. What? Number 11. Let's talk about the Ragan. I don't know how to say his team name. Ragondins. I don't know. Ragondins. I don't know, bro. But he went 3-4 in week 1. Showed a lot of potential though. I just didn't know. I never seen the guy play too much. Another rookie. And I think he can definitely be in contention for a playoff spot in that stacked Bro Boom conference. So look out for him as a rookie. And then we got the Foul Poles, who went 1-2. A lot of close games in the Legendary League, which we love to see that. But the Gravy Gulp definitely on the weaker side. A lot of guys that haven't played in there yet. But I mean, this guy's had a lot of close games. I don't think anyone should count him out yet. Just don't know much about him yet. But again, I think that Gravy Gulp is conference is very open for teams taking playoff spots. It's really, I feel like Bro Boom is way better than the Gravy Gulp in the Legendary League this season. But that's this slide. I think the numbers are messed up. Oh god. Oh no, I'm messing things up. No, all right. The numbers are messed up. Don't worry about it. Oh, those are freaking the preseason ones are on there. Whoops. Number 9, let's talk about Stranger Things. Looked a little, man, we saw him my game week against the Flower Bombs. Just kind of got ran over. The pitching was not there at all. And he just looked really uncomfortable hitting against him. But it's BBD, man. He's going to turn it around. He's going to have a better week. And I think he can definitely slide in for a playoff spot. He's got to keep. He's a grinder. We always see him playing. He's just got to keep practicing. And I think he'll be in there no problem. Let's talk about Unicorns at number 8. They went 3 for 3. In that stacked Bro Boom division, he's had his ups and downs, but really good player. Currently in that 4th seed in the Bro Boom, so I think he's definitely got to be a guy making the playoffs this season. And this is a prize. Number 7th, we got the Civilization, who went 3 for 3 with that preseason rank at 1. But we saw it last season with him. He started slow last season. He did. It was a very slow start. It was kind of just like, I think he was a negative record as well last season, but he's a good player. We know he won the championship last season. We all know that. And he right now he's starting to turn around much more. So I think you're going to see prime Mama Jun right now. Because he's looking really good right now in week 2 so far. So I expect him to turn it around for sure. Slow starts are just nothing, man. It's only week 1. That's why we play 5 weeks. A lot of games. All right, 654. Let's go. Got the Hylians. Number 6, who looked really, really good. Even though they only went 3 and 2. Really close games, but they showed resilience and clutch, man. The guy's really good as a rookie. Definitely I can see him taking a playoff spot in the Bro Boom. And I love the logo. Let's go to Fly Balls. Number 5. Probably one of the top teams. Definitely one of the top teams in the Gravy Gulp, along with Front Runners and Tulips in there. So I can definitely, I think he's almost guaranteed a playoff spot in that Gravy Gulp division. Really good player. And, a lot of rookies, so it's awesome to see some rookies showing out. And number 4, we got the Tulips. Went 4 and 2 in week 1. But definitely turned it around in week 2. Holds the number 1 spot currently in the Gravy Gulp. So I say he's in competition for taking the Gravy Gulp as a top seed. And we all know the Tulips, man. He's a beast. He's always going to be in the playoffs, I think, as long as he plays here. He's a really good player. And he's looking better this season, definitely, than last season, for sure. I think he wants revenge for that championship, man. So I can see him going deep in the playoffs, for sure. He's looking really good, though, to start week 1. And here we go, the last slide. Number 3, Flower Bombs, man. One of the guys that moved up from last season from the minors. probably the most, or like I think he's the only one that got promoted pretty much that adapted the best to the higher egos. He's just looking really good and really comfortable on the higher egos. And he's got Herbert Hackman going absolutely insane. I mean, the guy, how many home runs does he have right now? The guy has 5 homers already, carrying that offense. MVP candidate for sure, I think, so far. He's looked really good. I think he's still undefeated currently. Holds the #1 spot in the Bro Boom currently as well. But definitely awesome to see this continuing his success in the regular season. I think he has that streak going on right now too. He has like 20-something games in a row in the regular season, which is insane. But let's see how long he can keep that going. And number 2, we got the front runners, 3-0. Obviously, we know the front runners. Most is a great player. Love to watch him play. He's a really good guy. And I think he's gonna be in contention for the top spot in the Gravy Gulp, along with Tulips and Fly Balls. And then we got Ball Squawks at number 1. What a surprise, man. I mean, he's looked great. Went 3-1 in week 1. We saw him on Game of the Week. He's looked really good. And the preseason ranking at 13th to number 1 is crazy. But the guy has looked really good. And I think he's going to be in competition for the top spot in the Bro Boom, which is stacked, man. I mean, the Bro Boom playoffs are going to be insane, I think, looking at it so far. But definitely a big surprise. And he's in the everyone voted Bro Boom actually in his predictions pretty much. Wow. So enjoy those points. But definitely a fun guy to watch. Love his uniforms and logo. And can't wait to watch more of him. So I think that's all we got for the power rankings this week. Gonna put this on YouTube so everyone can watch it back if they need to. But this is just for week 1. It's not counting any week 2 games. Just remember that. But I think Legendary is absolutely competitive, and I love to see it. Really, a lot of really close games, and it's just awesome to watch. Very entertaining. So I think that's all I got today, guys. Thanks for tuning out for this little power ranking show. I'll try to do this once a week, as much as I can. And I think coming up, we have Game of the Week. I think we got one tomorrow night. I have to check who's playing, and as well as Sunday. And we should have our first After Dark stream sometime soon with the 2v2 with hot mics. That should be fun to watch. GG. So I think that's all I got, guys. So we'll see you for, I think tomorrow night should be a Game of the Week match. Let me just confirm that. But I'll post in the Discord, of course, and then see everybody there tomorrow night. Should be fun. But let me get out of here, guys. Thanks for tuning in.